I just want to start off this video by saying a massive thank you for reaching 1,000 subscribers already. We've only been doing this for 3 months and you guys have already smashed it. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I really do appreciate it. I just want to let you guys know there will be some other games featured on this channel, whether they're new games that are coming out like survival games or anything like that. But at the same time, we're still going to be focusing a lot on Warpath. Massive thank you to each and every single one of you. In today's video, we're going to jump in and kind of show you guys all the different ways of buying blueprints and then equipping those parts and just kind of how it works in upgrading them and so on. As always, guys, I love each and every single one of you. Thank you for being so amazing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's jump straight into it. So guys, we recently spoke about all the different kind of units there are. Now we're going to talk about the blueprints and the way they kind of work on this game, as there is so many different ways you can not only collect them, but also add them to your units. The first thing we're going to talk about, guys, is kind of where you can buy all of these sort of blueprints for. So I think that's going to be the best way to start it off with, showing you where you can get them, and then we'll deep dive into how you equip them and sort of how you can upgrade them and so on moving forward. So guys, the first place we're going to go here is going to be the Arena Store. Now in the Arena Store, guys, this resets once a week, and this is where I kind of get a chunk of mine from. So within the week, depending on where you rank, as you can see here, you will earn some of these sort of coins. Pretty much you will always gonna get coins. It doesn't matter where you land, you're gonna get coins. But basically, guys, if you could try and at least get into the, say, top 100 or even top 50, top 50 is the best one to go for. You get it like 3,000 to 2,500 depending on where you land. Again, the weekly, this depends on where you end at the end of the week, but if you can end in the top, say like 100, you're going to get an extra 4,500 at the end of the week. And what happens is this will all get calculated into your shop, and as you can see, I've currently got 30k. So what I do is I buy my drinks and that, buy me energy, but you see here 60% off. You can get 5 crates, and obviously I'm able to buy this out straight because I've managed to get enough of those coins, but it is only a Monday. I'm recording this on a Monday. I'm going to be able to then earn more points. So if I couldn't buy this outright, I'd then be able to go get that. So for example, here, I've only got enough to buy 7 of them. So I'll get the other 3 throughout the week, obviously, when I'm able to then get more coins. So this is going to be the first way to get 5 blueprints. Now, 5 blueprints is not a tremendous amount, but it's something. The next place you can get them, guys, is the Alliance Store. Now, the Alliance Store is rather expensive. So I would say if you're looking at maybe spending the 2,360 coins, maybe it could be okay. So as you can see here, I bought one for my artillery because unfortunately my artillery just doesn't have good blueprints on it. I need artillery blueprints. So I've gone and spent out that little bit of extra points here to go and get this. But normally, guys, I would tell you to buy just the drinks, just the tokens from War Machine, and then finally I'd spend all the rest of it on VIP. And believe it or not, I literally just had about 16k, so I spent the rest of it all on VIP after I bought these remaining things. So, as I said, guys, normally I would tell you not to really buy blueprints from here because they genuinely are really expensive. But at the same time, if you really do need them, this is one place you can get them. So, guys, this is going to be another place where you can get hold of your blueprints. Now, throughout the campaign, as you go up levels, you'll start to earn bronze parts. Now, obviously, these parts aren't going to be that good, but the further you progress in the campaign, eventually you will be able to get hold of some gold blueprints. Now, nothing crazy, they are just gold blueprints, but on some certain units, for example the rocket launcher, now you can actually get some decent gold blueprints to start off with. Now, moving forward, you are able to buy more blueprints from here, but do I think that it's going to be worth it? Not really, because they are really expensive. 14.7k, it's a lot. If I'm being honest with you, that is a lot of the coins needed. I think it's going to be much better for you just to be buying your ammo, and obviously, as you can see here, the stuff that's on the offers. So in general, guys, this is one I'm going to tell you to try and stay away from, because even, for example, guys, the Alliance Store, it's not too expensive. It's one of those you can kind of get. With this one, I think it's just way too expensive. But correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong here, but I generally believe this is just way too expensive to be spending your coins on. Another place we're going to look at here is going to be over in the Battle Pass. Now, when the Battle Pass starts, if you are to end up buying the Battle Pass, unfortunately, it's only if you buy it. But if you was to buy the advanced version of the Battle Pass here, every single Battle Pass comes with 3 golden blueprint boxes. You can choose what unit you want these blueprints to be for. Again, normally I always choose the artillery because I'm just so unlucky with artillery blueprints, and this is going to be where you can select 3 units to have those blueprints for, and then you can open them and they have a chance of being gold, gold plus, or gold plus plus. So that's another place you can get an extra 3. The next thing we're going to talk about is the Conversion Store. So if you head over to the parts workshop, you can click on this convert part, and when you click on this is where you can hand in different different blueprints, and if you press convert, you can change them up for these coins. Now, I'm not going to do this right now because I don't have any gold points left. Now, I would advise you guys, do not get rid of gold plus or gold plus plus blueprints. And the reason for this, guys, is I think that at some point in the game, you might end up trying to change to a different unit. Maybe right now you don't want an L unit, but down the line you think, you know what, I really want an L unit. So then if you've gone and got rid of all your blueprints, it's going to kind of suck. Now, of course, with the gold blueprints, you can convert them if you're not using them, but always be wary of what you are getting rid of. I would always advise, guys, definitely keep the gold plus and the gold plus pluses. I don't ever see myself getting heavy again, but I've still got it just in case. You know, I don't see myself getting a bomber, especially anytime soon, but I'm going to keep it just in case. Now, obviously, as you can see, guys, I don't have any gold blueprints left. I did convert them, and when you go to the conversion store here, this is where you can get a hold of some more blueprints. So as you see, I only have 3,500 coupons right now, so I've got to wait until I end up opening more blueprints to be able to end up converting them. But over here, this resets weekly, and as you can tell, if you are getting any of these units here, it only costs 6,000 of these coins to actually get one of these blueprints, and you can have 2 of them of each. And then further down, you have the gold blueprint crate, and it's a random blueprint, but these are only 3,000 each. So this is really good. I'm actually going to grab one of them right now, and then the rest I'm just going to buy some wrenches for. With that being said, guys, if you can, try and get hold of these because it's really cheap. And then, of course, if you want to try and get a hold of one of these, this will also be a very good option. So the special units like the AT, Super Heavy, the Light Tank, the sort of camp-specific units, as they are called, the rocket launcher, those are going to be a little bit more expensive, along with your Air Force. Those are very expensive too. You get like double the amount it costs to buy them. But if you are getting, say, the infantry, the medium, heavy, the tank hunter, and then the artillery, these are going to be much easier and cheaper for you to buy, and I think it's 100% worth it. Also, as you saw me buy one of these are also a very good price. 500 for 500, 3,500 total. Not a bad price for a weekly restock, and it can definitely help rack that up with your armor wrenches. So I'm going to mention a couple of other places you can buy them, but they are events. One of them is actually a free event, which is a very good free event, by the way. It's called the Paratroopers. Now, the Paratroopers comes around once every 2 weeks, and from this, the more your alliance completes this Paratroopers, the higher stage it goes up. And once it's at its max stage, you will be able to get 14 blueprints if you survive past wave 23, I believe it is. This is absolutely amazing and will definitely help. The next thing we're going to talk about is another event called the Munition Mechanician. Now, this is like a tiered event again, and unfortunately, you're going to have to spend a lot if you want to get this. So it's going to cost you around 400,000 gold to be able to like max this out. But even then, you're probably going to have to spend more actual money on top of that gold. So it's one of those things, if you got lots of money and you want to go for that event just to get one gold plus plus blueprint, but it's a guaranteed gold plus plus blueprint of your choosing, then it might be worth it. But I don't think that's going to be worth it because it's just one blueprint. Sure, it's going to take me a time to sit around and find them blueprints, but I'd rather do that free than spend a lot of money trying to get that. There's also another event called the Lucky Slots, and this is kind of the same thing as the munitions, but it's for Air Force. So again, spending quite a bit of gold, you're going to then be able to obtain a gold plus plus blueprint for your Air Force. I think it's around the same, about 400,000 gold to be able to complete this event. It's one of these events, guys, that is really, really expensive, and I think the best event for gold wise would be the Lucky Wheel, where you can get officer statues, because let's be honest, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you've got a gold plus plus blueprint. If the officers you have on that unit are useless, it's not going to make a difference. So the main difference is officers. Those are the things you want to focus on, I personally think. The next place we're going to talk about where you can grab some more of those blueprints is actually going to be upgrading your units. So we're going to check out the manual here. So when you have a unit here, for example, I had a rocket launcher all the way up to a 7.2 rocket launcher, but when it came to modern, I only ever got it to an 8. I never went all the way. And one thing I've learned about this is when you make a unit, let's just say you get a new unit and you plan to have this unit sat at about an 8-star or an 8.1, and it's kind of a filler unit. What you are better off doing, guys, is resetting another unit that you have maxed out and maxing that unit out, because if you have a look here, if I click on info, whenever I upgrade to the next level, not only am I going to be getting camp specific coupons, but I'm also going to be getting more blueprints. So if I keep going up here, this is another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 blueprints I missed out on because I just didn't upgrade it, when all I needed to do was reset another unit and then max out that unit instead. As I said, guys, make sure that whenever you do get a new unit, try and max it out. For an example, I'll show you what I did here with my ATG. I recently got my ATG and it was sat at about an 8.1, 8.2, and I was just like, wait, why don't I just reset it? So what I did is I came in here and I reset one of my units and made an 8.2, and I've literally got that right now. As you can see, I'm sitting here with an 8.2 ATG. This, of course, will go back to being an 8.1 soon, but I was able to max it out and get all the blueprints available for it. And believe it or not, guys, I got very lucky because using those blueprints, I managed to pull Gold plus blueprint parts here for the ATG, and honestly, I'm just absolutely amazed at how we managed to do this. It's pure luck. It's just one of those things, guys. If you are really going to try and upgrade a unit, try and upgrade it all the way just to get those extra blueprint parts to try and make sure that your unit is as strong as possible. So, guys, I think this is going to be the last place where you're able to get blueprints. Maybe I've missed some. Please let me know down in the comments if I have missed any locations where you can buy them. But the final place is actually going to be VIP, and this isn't necessarily buy-in. This is if you reach VIP 16, you actually get 1 gold blueprint a day. So, guys, if we do the math here very easily, the one place I think you're always going to be able to get the blueprints from is going to be the arena. That's going to be 5 of them. So if you add the 5 from there, and then you add the 7 of these per week, that's going to be a total of 12 within this week. Then if you add the 12 together, that's going to be 24, plus the 14 you get from Paratroopers. So all those put together is about 38 blueprints. And that's what you're going to be able to get every 2 weeks if you don't get it from anywhere else. Now, if you add on all of those other little extra bits where I've shown you can get them, you could be getting over 40 every 2 weeks, and this is really going to benefit you. So simply by getting to VIP 16 and having those extra 7 a week is really making a big difference. And honestly, I think it's an actual amazing choice to try and get yourself to VIP 16, because not only are you getting the blueprint, but you're also getting loads of other goodies like the officer statues, the camp coupons, you're even getting the universal material, as well as just all these other benefits right here. So 100% VIP, again, is just going to be one of the best things for you to be able to do. And so, guys, now that we've talked about how you could get these blueprints, let's talk and break down how the actual blueprints work on your unit. So if we go over here to parts, as you can see, there are different styles, different amounts, and it might be a little confusing, but with this game, it's actually really straightforward. Everything kind of slots in its place like Lego. So if I click down here onto number 3, just for example, I'm going to click here and go to Forge Parts. Now, what this is showing me all the different parts available for this unit. Now, as you can see, you've got bronze parts, you've got silver parts, and you'll get these through the campaign and the campaign sort of store, as I mentioned to you. But eventually, you'll be able to start getting gold blueprints, and this is going to be very fast. It's not going to take long to get those gold blueprints. When you are getting the different blueprints, you have different backgrounds. So you see here, you got the Blue Liberty background, you got the Vanguard sort of gray background, and then you got the Marty red background. Now, the way this works is depending on your unit. So right now, this does not have a blue background, which means I'm not getting any extra bonuses. But for example, if I go to here and put this on, you see how it now has the 30%. Because it is the same camp as the unit, it gains an extra 30% buff when it's on the unit of the same camp. So this is going to be kind of really good to think about, and what you're going to want to strive for at the end of your unit is to have a gold plus in the same camp. So for this one, it would be a gold plus Liberty part, and that is going to benefit and produce the best amount of buffs available for your unit. But just because this is available for the camp doesn't necessarily mean that it's better, because as you can see here, this is the sort of bonus that is adding on. And honestly, guys, this here isn't going to be as good as still having this one, because although this is a gold plus in the Marty's edition, it's still providing more than what this one here is. So of course you're going to want to add that one on, but eventually I'm going to want to get this in blue. That's why I said, guys, always hold on to the gold plus units and gold pluses, because you never know when you're going to want to switch your units around, and maybe then you'll always have something available when you do eventually switch. So as you can see here on the right hand side, I currently have these available, and it's actually kind of crazy how I got them. The other day, I was just going through blueprints, kind of looking at them, seeing what I have. Before I wanted to convert them in that conversion store, like I mentioned, I had a couple of gold blueprints left over, and I realized that maybe I should open them up to try and get something better for HP wise for my units. And what I did was, I was so lucky. Not only did I manage to pull out one of these, it ended up turning into a perfect part. Now, what a perfect part does, guys, is it makes it so it goes to the next stage. Although I opened a gold blueprint, I actually ended up getting a gold plus blueprint, but it goes to the lowest form. So although a gold plus blueprint can vary from range of power, it always goes to the lowest amount, but it's still better than the one before. I was pretty lucky, guys, and I ended up pulling 2 gold perfect parts back to back. So they both switched to gold pluses, but now, of course, this is something that we're gonna have to work towards, trying to maybe progress and improve in the future. But with that being said, guys, as you can see, if I go over here to my Howie, for example, I have gold plus blueprints on all 3 parts. I do need to get gold plus pluses, and eventually I might be able to do that, hence why I've been saving up a lot of those blueprint parts for the Howie. I've been buying them from the Alliance store and wherever it may be, so that in the hopes that I'm able to pull a gold plus plus for this, especially in the same camp. So as you can see here, if I switch over, I do have another gold plus blueprint, which I could forge and maybe get a gold plus plus, but at the same time, I feel like I'm just gonna stick with this for now. In fact, you know what, we're gonna do it, guys. We're gonna do it right here on the video for you. Let's see if I can get a gold plus plus perfect part. It's gonna be unlikely, but there's still a chance, right? So let's see if we can get a perfect part. Unfortunately, we didn't. So as you see here, it's turned into just a standard and it's upgraded. I'm gonna then try and forge one more. Let's see, guys, if we can pull a gold plus plus. It's completely random. Did we get a perfect part? We didn't, unfortunately. So as you can see here, though, this will not be very great for us. So if we switch over here, so this is at 963. Technically, this part that we pulled is a better part. As you can see here, it's 1033, but it's not going to be better to have this, because if we go here, we lose out on the 30%. So although this one technically is a little bit of a better blueprint part, this one here just adds on to the bonus, because the fact that not only are we getting the bonus from this mechanic, we are also then getting the bonus from the 30%, which is just over that amount. So guys, I hope this has kind of summed up how it works when it comes to pulling the actual blueprints, and it's all kind of luck based. There's no way of guaranteeing it unless you go for those sort of events that give you the guaranteed parts, but they are very expensive to get. The next thing I kind of want to talk about, guys, is the classic mechanic. Now what this does, guys, is when you level it up, it gives you a bonus boost to your part. So whatever part you have, you're going to be gaining an extra boost, and once you hit level 100, you're going to be getting that 260% extra boost to it. After that, you can then go to a modern, you can get even more buffs, and this is actually going to be crazy because you can stack them all on top of each other. So you can be getting 160% extra bonus on top of what you already have if you max out the modern as well. So guys, I hope this has helped you kind of working out how it all works. If you do have any questions, please let me know down below. Moving on, we're now going to kind of talk about how you assemble them. So you've just seen me assemble some of these, and unfortunately they didn't pull a gold plus plus, which is a very rare chance. But what we're going to look at now is how I managed to do that. We have here this blueprint, which is the same for what we've already got. Right here, we actually have a part available for the tank hunter here. Perfect. So the tank hunter blueprint will turn into a modern unit eventually. So you see here, this actual blueprint is available and it will work on either a medium or a tank hunter. But when you transition to modern units, the tank hunter turns into a helicopter, and the medium and the heavy turn into the main battle tank. And unfortunately, this part that we can see right here, this won't work on that, but it does work on a helicopter. So we're going to go over to the heli right now, and we're going to see if we have managed to pull a gold plus plus part. That would be honestly kind of crazy if we do. So let's check it out. We're going to forge and adapt it into the modern part, and let's see if we are able to pull a gold plus plus. So we already have one of these for the heli, but we're going to see if we can now pull a gold plus plus. It's going to be extremely rare, but I just want to show you as well, this is kind of the reason we clicked on here to begin with, is I wanted to show you these parts. So not only do you need the money to do this, you also then need the blueprint itself, and then you also need these components. And I'm going to show you these components in a second. They're called materials, and I'm going to kind of show you how they work and where you also get them from. So let's see if we can pull a gold plus plus. This is going to be... Come on, please get me a gold plus plus. We didn't get a gold plus plus, but it is what it is. I'm not too sure. This is at 1008 power, and obviously we're going to try and have a look to see what's better. So right here, Perfect. What we had before was 918. Now we're going to get this, and it's going to add just a little bit extra power. So although it wasn't a gold plus plus, it's still better than what we had. So we should be happy with that. And let's quickly see if there's anything else here. We could make a HP one. I'm not looking for a HP one right now, though, so I'm not going to forge that. We do want firepower. So if you want HP, that would have been something I want, but I'm going to keep hold of that blueprint just in case. So we've already got gold plus pluses on all of these. I believe 1,649. You can actually have a look, okay? So you see here that this is 1,649. If I go over here to a gold plus plus, I can see that 1,100 is the lower end of this blueprint. 1,693 is the best you can get. So the best gold plus plus I can get is a grade that's like 1,693. The one I have is 1,649. It is going to be so rare that I get a better part than this. It is almost a perfect part. So what I would look at, guys, is, for example, if this one here, when we go to see this one, we can see it's 1,185. Now, 1,185, if I'm not mistaken, looking here, 1,185 is the lowest form available for this unit. Almost what I can guarantee has happened is I have gone and opened a gold plus part for here. For example, this one, I would have opened this part and it has been a perfect part and it's upgraded to a gold plus plus. So it is at the bottom end of it. And if I ever was to get a gold plus plus part for this exact part of the rocket pods and I was to actually use it, there is a very high chance I'm going to find a better version. That's one thing you need to keep your eye out for. Let's quickly go through any of my other units here. I don't think I have anything else that needs parts right now. This one, as I said, I've been very lucky, and you can kind of tell. So you got 7,200, 6,900, 6,600. This is the lowest one right now, and as I can see here, 1,560. So if I go over here, the best one available is one. So I got 1,560. It's a pretty good part. But yeah, as you can see, guys, there is absolutely nothing I can do with this one. I've got gold plus pluses on them all. The only way I can do is if I actually get a gold plus plus, open it, and it become better. But yeah, guys, I hope this has helped you kind of understand it. So let's go through to materials. Now, the way materials work is you kind of get these material boxes. You could honestly open these material boxes. I sometimes do it, sometimes I forget. But long story short, guys, when you open all of these, it's going to add these sort of materials. Now, you can manually, if you want, trade these blueprints up, but the game will also automatically do it for you when you want to go and actually upgrade a part. So these parts are needed, and obviously these premium parts as well. Let's just say you needed 1,000 of these. It would end up crafting 67 of these. Obviously I got 10k of them, but you'd use 67 to reach that 1,000 to make that. These ones would also then turn into the modern ones, and these modern ones are needed for the bigger blueprints. Obviously materials can be hard to get at the start of a game, and if you go over to the campaign store, guys, you always get these different rewards. The way this works, guys, is you also earn materials and other stuff, which is really, really good, and you can in fact also buy it from here if you really needed to. But I feel like it's one of those things that at the start of the game you might be struggling, thinking you need to get a hold of these, but the further you progress in the game, the less likely you're going to be using them, obviously opening up new blueprints, and therefore you're going to be able to save up loads and loads of them. And I don't think I've ever needed to buy them now for about a year. Right now, if you are new to the game, it might seem like you don't have enough of these materials, but further down the line, you'll be perfectly fine, I promise you. The last thing we're going to talk about, guys, is what if you've had parts, guys, that you no longer need? So we're going to head over to the parts section, and as you can see here, there are some parts that I just no longer use anymore. Now, you can hold on to them. This is going to be perfectly fine. If you want to hold on to parts, be my guest. And as you can see, I've not got rid of these parts. So these parts here are parts that are not in use. Any parts that are on your unit right now will not show in this section. Right here, you're going to want to kind of keep these in case, again, you do want to eventually switch over to another unit. But if you know for 100% fact, like, you're never going to need it. Like, I know I'm not ever going to need this again. So what I'm going to do is I am going to remove it. And when you disassemble it, you will earn anything that you spent to get that back. So as you can see here, to make this, it costed one of these and then 30 of these. So when I disassemble it, I will get those back. The only time you do not get your blueprints back is when you disassemble a gold plus plus. You don't get all of it back. You only get returns of half of it back. So be very wary when you're disassembling your gold plus plus things, because you're not going to be getting them all back. I would personally advise you, there's no need to get rid of them unless you're really struggling on materials, which again is highly unlikely. But guys, I hope this video has helped. I'm sorry if it was a long one. I just kind of want to do a nice little deep dive into how to get hold of these blueprints, when to use them, how to upgrade that perfect part situation, and just always trying to go for the camp specific available for that unit. I do apologize, my throat is kind of really raspy, but thank you so much for the love and support on the channel. You guys are absolutely amazing. I love each and every single one of you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.